Want some humanity alongside your zombie apocalypse?
Hello? Anybody there?
Here are the best games on PC, like The Last of Us. If you've played both Last of Us games on PlayStation, you'll know what to expect here. Distinct characters, savage violence, and the sort of stories that leave you emotionally exhausted. And if you haven't, then hopefully this list will help. A collection of wire-taught games that mix apocalyptic vibes with human frailty. I know that doesn't sound like help, but you did ask for this. And if you're new here, hello! Please don't mind the groaning zombies in the background, they probably can't get in. Subscribe now while it's safe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let's move on before they get in. Here are the best games like The Last of Us to play on PC.
I get in trouble down there. You make every shot count. Yeah.
I got this.
An adopted father-daughter relationship, an apocalyptic wasteland full of monsters. Narratively speaking, few things are as closely matched to The Last of Us as Telltale's The Walking Dead. Before Joel and Ellie put us through the emotional tumble dryer, it was Lee and Clementine that not only tugged our heartstrings, but sliced them apart.
Okay.
It'll be okay. Stay near me, and we'll move as fast as we can.
There's no fighting here. Instead, your survival is based on sharp decision-making, such as picking who lives or dies when you can only save a single person. And unlike more binary RPG choices, there aren't clear good or evil options here. Instead, you have to live with those famous passive-aggressive words. There they are, to make you instantly regret whatever you said, did, or didn't do.
Just go. Get out and never come back.
Sometimes the constant bickering and human awkwardness can make fending off hordes of clickers feel like mushroom picking on a Sunday morning. Well, almost. This apocalypse might not involve zombies or their shroomy equivalents, but there are still mutated creatures trying to take a nibble at you every time you step outside. You might remember some particularly long-legged ones from our arachnophobia video. Just like sneaking past clickers, Metro Last Light loves to give your adrenal gland a workout. While you do have various guns, in true Last of Us fashion, stealthing past enemies, be they human or otherwise, is often the best way to stay in the land of the just about living. But there are times that unloading a clip on the nasties that lurk underground is as satisfying as it is necessary. If it really stops them, however, is another matter. The story's theme of moving forward no matter how bad it gets is familiar for both Last of Us fans and those of us who really wanted to stay in a safe house forever. Okay, here goes.
We'll maintain radio contact. And if you have second thoughts, don't worry, I'll do it. Okay then, good luck.
It's not quite an apocalypse, but when you first see those rats in A Plague Tale: Innocence swarming like spilt ink in the darkness around you, it'll bring back familiar fears of coming face to mushroom face in The Last of Us.
Hugo, are you alright?
Plus, you're not going to fight this mass of writhing beings either. Stealth is your biggest ally, whether it's cowering behind furniture or using your sling to cause distractions.
And die too. That noise. Better go see what it was.
And if it's story you're after, then A Plague Tale delivers, with a tense narrative about leading your brother to safety across Inquisition-occupied France. Through sprawling countryside to dark underground passageways, the environment you explore is often beautiful and brutal at the same time, which will be familiar to anyone who made the journey through post-apocalyptic America with Ellie and Joel. The only question is, rats or parasite monsters? Can I have neither? I'm choosing neither, thanks.
They're everywhere! What do we do?
no, we know the infected from The Last of Us aren't technically zombies, but also they basically are. And if you want best-in-class undead shuffling, you have to go back to the series that popularized groaning undead monsters. Capcom has had us reaching for the green herbs since 1996, but the 2019 remake of Resi 2 featuring the nightmare-inducing Mr. X is a particularly great next step, if for some reason you're not looking for a nice calming bath after The Last of Us. It's your classic escape from city overrun with flesh-eating infected, but that doesn't stop it being the crowning bulbous eye of the zombie genre. You'll be stealthing and shooting your way through the story as either rookie cop Leon or college student Claire. And because it's a Resi game, you'll spend the entire time holding onto ammo you'll never get around to using. Nope, you're staying in the inventory box.
Chew on that, you overgrown son of a bitch.
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is a fantasy indie gem about siblings on a mission to find a cure for their father. But this isn't just an escort mission. You control both brothers at the same time. In each puzzle, you'll need to control them independently, but together, giving the impression of rubbing your head and patting your stomach, while also getting two stressed out brothers to work together. The magical world is filled with trolls, giants, and griffins, rather than monsters based on real science. But the emotional core of the story is very much grounded in reality. If you enjoyed, or at least appreciated, the tears you shed during The Last of Us, there's plenty here to make you pretend you've got some dust in your eye. Crying? Me? No, I just got out the shower. The shower of emotional pain. At first, exploring verdant jungle temples might not seem all that similar to trudging through virus-infested cities. But when Lara is stealthing past enemies, solving environmental puzzles, and landing well-aimed headshots, you start to think she'd fare pretty well if mutant fungus took over. She's even killed a few zombies in her time. But in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you'll be dealing with enemies who are very much alive. Nice kitty. That doesn't stop it having elements of horror either, and that first glimpse of something running through the darkness ahead might make you wish you were back with those familiar clickers. And by maybe, I mean definitely won't. Tomb raiding looks more dangerous than ever here, but Miss Croft isn't one to back down at the first, 5th or 10th sign of danger. And like Ellie, she's hardy, lethal with a bow, and willing to see through her mission to the inevitably bloody end.
I hope that's all of them.
Despite the protagonists from The Last of Us having their share of action-worthy moments, they're all regular people, doing whatever they need to survive in the brutal world they find themselves in. And that's the same in Deadlight, where 1 or 2 bad hits could spell the end for our everyman. And while yes, it is just more zombies, this feels fresh, bringing something new to an often lumbering, popular genre. Inspired by the classic platformers of the 80s and 90s, you set off in the hopes of finding your wife and daughter. But don't be fooled by the 2D setting. This is a game of hidden depth. You'll have to think before you shoot, use the environment to your advantage, and avoid confrontation wherever possible. It's also a strangely striking game, full of shadowy locations you'll want to stop and admire. Well, you would, if you weren't being hunted by the undead, at least.
The news was right. Something big happened in the city. People went to war against the shadows, military and common man alike. It didn't end well.
If it's the survival elements you loved in The Last of Us, then this war of mine will tap into your eagle-eyed, item-finding obsession. Rather than crafting shivs to slash at clickers, you'll be building up a base, making beds to sleep in, campfires to cook on, and workbenches for more essential tools. It's the sort of game that'll make you look at a shovel like a long-lost loved one. And much like Deadlight before it, you're no hardened team of super soldiers. You're merely a bunch of civilians trying to do their best. And it's not just about keeping hunger levels down or getting a good night's rest either. You encounter various other survivors that lead to difficult decisions. Will you steal from the nice old couple to get the medicine you desperately need? Oh, they have a lace tablecloth. This is too sweet. I'm out. Part of what makes The Last of Us so fun is the choice. Do you want to shoot this guy, sneak past undetected, or fashion a shiv from scavenged materials and get absolutely feral with it? It brings the action to life, and that is exactly why Dishonored could be your zombie-free alternative. It has the same kind of freedom, although this time you have supernatural abilities to augment your already impressive skills. Stealth is aided by your ability to blink across short distances, and swarms of rats rise up to eat people for you, like if a Disney princess lived in a dark, industrial city. And if you do team up with the violent little assassins for some evil doings, the world and story will change around you accordingly. Okay, can I do my dark Disney princess rat song now? I can show you some rats. Well, that was rude. Outro song aside, those were the best games like The Last of Us to play on PC. Let us know what kind of apocalypse you think you'd do best in, and if you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. We'll trade it for a tin of expired mystery meat. For more videos about the games you love, subscribe to Logitech G and hit the notification bell so you never miss when another video lands.